Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be decorating an apartment for spring, which is a season that is currently starting where I live, and I honestly would have been more excited about this if I didn't live in such a warm place, because the past month hasn't felt like winter at all. But I still wanted to take this excuse to build something in The Sims with bright color palettes and, just this spring feel, which I do think is pretty nice. And so I am going to be using a lot of pale greens and some blue and yellow, and I did really like how this apartment came out. And I also decided to have this be a family apartment, which is something that I didn't know if I wanted to do at first, because I am building in this very small apartment, which is where normally Penny Pizzas lives. But I really liked the idea of a child's bedroom with this theme, so I decided to do it anyway, because I actually started this in a different apartment and I didn't really like how that was turning out, because that apartment had medium wall height. So I decided to have it here instead, and I prefer that a lot. I also wanted to use these windows from the Myshuno stuff pack, which are a similar size to the windows that this apartment normally has, and I think I placed them where you would normally have windows in here. I just added a couple of them, and I really liked the idea of there being an office with some sort of greenhouse. And so I decided to also use the door from that pack, because it lets in a lot of light, so that it could be sectioned off as a separate room, but it would still let in some natural light from the outside into this living space, because there are no windows in this space. But I did end up making that office into the primary bedroom, because I later decided that the bedroom was too small. It was the same size as the child's bedroom, which is a decent size for a single bed, but with a double bed it just wasn't coming out the way that I wanted it to. But anyway, we're now working on the living room, and I decided to move the dining table to that other space, because I wanted there to be a TV, and I also wanted to use this couch from high school years, which has this really lovely blanket, and I felt that it made more sense for this couch to not be against a wall because of that blanket. So I decided to have it here, and it actually divides the rooms pretty well, so that the areas are defined, but there's no walls, so that this small space doesn't feel like too claustrophobic. And I actually had a bit of trouble deciding how to decorate this space, but in the end I decided to use the tiny living pictures that have the leaves, as well as these hanging plants, which are from the Blooming Rooms kit, and I also decided to have that mirror from Seasons, which is normally very high up on the wall, but I kind of worked around that, and I really liked how that looked in between those doors. And to me, it feels like this space makes sense and that it looks a bit larger than it is. But now we're working on that child's bedroom, and I decided to use this very beautiful swatch of this rock from high school years. I wasn't expecting to use this color scheme, but because of that and because of the picture that I am using from the Pastel Pop kit, I decided to go with this kind of purple and green color scheme, which I really loved how it worked with these wallpaper and with those beds that go perfectly together. I really like how the bedspreads are a bit different, but they still look like they should be together, because I don't like it when both beds have the same bedspread. It just feels like the children have no individuality. So I decided to go with that, and I also gave them this closet, which at first I thought would be purple, but because I wanted to use this very cute Easter bunny plushie, I felt that it was a bit too much purple, so I ended up going with the green in the end. And I did actually change that swatch that I was using as the inspiration for this color scheme, but I felt that it worked better in this space because it was too similar to the wall color at first. And I also decided to have some backpacks and other clutter items in here. I was thinking that these are two children, they are not yet teenagers, so they still have some plushies, and they have this very cute fox lamp, and they just love color, and this is a darker color scheme than I was expecting to go with, but I really liked how it came out because it matches all of the colors from the rock so well, and the furniture pieces all match. So I really enjoyed that room, and now we're trying to make this primary bedroom work, which I liked, but I was frustrated because I felt that the closet didn't work in here, and I actually ended up deleting one of the windows because of that. I wanted it to look like there was some more storage in here, so I ended up going with these modular pieces from from Dream Home Decorator, which I really liked, and I feel that they worked in this space, but when I tried to add a mirror to this room, it just felt like there was just no room for that. So even if I had everything already cluttered up and, you know, the whole space was pretty much done, it really bothered me that there was no mirror. But first I tried to work on the bathroom, and here I really wanted to use the same tile that I was using in the kitchen, as well as this very beautiful rug, also from high school years, which has these beautiful flowers. And it matches this color scheme perfectly. So I ended up using those, as well as the shower from For Rent, which has those very beautiful green tile as well, and the gold accents. And I tried to add some robes and towels for every member of this family, but I felt that it was looking too cluttered. So I ended up going with these robes and some towels on the other side. And that's why I decided to go with this sink that has some towels underneath it. And I felt that all of these styles match. It's kind of more modern. And now is the time when I was deciding to swap the bedroom for that office space. I still kept this sliding door that I was using. I did forget to add some curtains to it, but I am going to make sure to have them added before I upload it to the gallery, which is what I do with all my apartments and all my builds. You can find them all under my ID, which is Veranio. And I also have them always linked down in the description, so if you want to have this apartment, it should be very easy for you to find it. But anyway, now I have moved that closet, and I even included some more shelving so that I felt that this looks a lot more built in than it did before, because of how it was going to clip with the window if I actually had it all the way against the wall. And I did actually have enough space to add a mirror, and I also was able to include a little bookshelf, which made me quite happy because of how well it filled this space. And I also liked how it was more obvious that that was the primary bedroom now. One thing that I also forgot to add was an Easter egg. I really wanted to have one of those or a few of those. I'll try to add them before I take the screenshots and again before I upload it to the gallery. But now we're just going to be adding a few finishing touches and rearranging this office space. I ended up having to eliminate a few of the planters, but I think that I added an extra one maybe, or an extra floor planter. But anyway, I do feel that this is enough for an apartment to have if they wanted to do some gardening. Maybe this seems like to blog about gardening or some sort of nature theme. But yeah, now I'm just finishing this room, and then I'm going to be adding a different wallpaper to these walls that are around the elevator. I really wanted to have some more interest in this space because of all the white walls. I don't mind the white walls, but I felt that it looked a bit bland. So I think that this made it a bit warmer. And after that, I only add a rug to the entryway. I tried to use the one from Seasons, but I felt that the size of it was a bit strange with this very tight entryway, so I ended up using the one from For Rent. And that's going to be really it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and if you would like to see more, I normally upload 2 long speed builds to my channel every week. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.